Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar Integration of LoRaWAN data points into existing building management systems from the LoRa Alliance. My name is Jan-Philipp Exner and I am the Vice Chair of the Smart City and Smart Building Workgroup, and I'm very happy here to present together with colleagues from my side, Tektelic and Thermocon, this webinar series for you. Just some remarks from the housekeeping. The session has been you can you can point on your questions towards the sessions, and the session will also be recorded and be available on the Resources Center and the LoRa Alliance website. The topic for today is the integration of LoRaWAN into existing building management system. And the basic question we're all talking about is, why do we need smart buildings? And we have, especially in the points of the business, the residential and the industrial sectors, lots of use cases we use and can leverage the power of LoRaWAN for its purposes. And the key advantage of LoRaWAN, answering the question why LoRaWAN is suitable for smart buildings, will be explained by our presenters later on. But basically, it is about the technology and the ecosystem. The technology is about things like ability to penetrate walls and, in general, the low power consumption for its devices. But the crucial point is especially the ecosystem of sensors and the possible integration of existing building management systems. And this is what we are going to present by today. The question also, what is all possible with LoRaWAN, is being shown on our image from the LoRaWAN infographic. You just see on a brief glance that the potential integrations for LoRaWAN sensors in smart building systems is very manifold. Various kinds of sensors, from metering to building management, heating control, etc., gives a very wide variety of chances to implement in the use cases. And also the three presentations we will see later on show the impressive versatility of this. And what is also be seen and can be recognized in the market at the percentage, or at least the market of IoT solutions by LoRaWAN and smart building sector are significantly growing. And also, we would like to refer on the BACnet report, which was going to get published last year, which showed that especially the LoRaWAN solutions are very suitable for smart buildings due to their technical circumstances, and also the needs are very good addressed. And as mentioned, the open standard is the key reason for the large ecosystem, and this is the benefit for all possible solutions for integration in existing management systems. And as mentioned, how this integration will be done, this is being shown by our presenters later on. So, no slide. No, the slide, sorry, the slide is just hanging. There we are. So, I'm very happy to introduce our speakers. As I mentioned, my name is Jan-Philipp Exner from Zenner International, being your moderator today. Starting will be our first speaker, Jack Stewart from Tektelic, followed by Mario Schröder from Thermocon and Harry Hura from my side. So we have a wide range from the technological perspective, the general implications, and also the possible use case and integrations. And I'm very happy now to give over to my colleague, Jack Stewart from Tektelic. Jack, the room is yours.
All right, hello everybody, and thank you, Jan, for the introduction. Thank you also to the LoRa Alliance for including Tektelic in this great event today. My name is Jack Stewart. I'm a business development director with Tektelic. A big part of my role here at Tektelic is working with our customers and our partners to determine the most common challenges and pain points that are faced by their businesses, and feed these insights into the Tektelic team as we develop and perfect full network solutions to address these challenges. Today, I'm pleased to introduce our network solution to seamlessly integrate LoRaWAN with traditional building management systems and other common industrial platforms. So I'd like to start by focusing a little bit more on the statistics introduced at the beginning of the presentation. The LoRa Alliance, in partnership with Beecham Research, as Jan mentioned, recently published a paper on the growth of the smart buildings industry globally. And as we see, smart building revenue is growing at an incredible pace, with revenues projected to reach over $200 billion by 2028. And that's with a compound annual growth rate of over 16%. And this growth rate is being driven by increasing demand for energy efficiency, more advanced automation, and the need for actionable data insights. These trends are not just reshaping how we think about buildings, they're fundamentally changing how buildings are operated, managed, optimized, and experienced by occupants. At Tectelic, we work closely with partners who in some cases are building operators, and in other cases, they provide services to building operators to ensure that the solutions we develop are not only aligned with this growth that we see here, but help simplify the journey for these operators. We're not just a hardware vendor at Tectelic. Many people know Tectelic as a hardware vendor, but truly we provide complete integrated network solutions that are purpose-built to fit into the existing building management systems and workflows. As the smart building landscape evolves, there are still a few dominant industrial communication protocols that are deployed, with BACnet and Modbus being two of the most common. These protocols have served the industry for decades, and they continue to be the backbone of most of the building automation systems that are deployed globally today. Our goal and our intention at Tectelic is not to replace these systems, but the LoRaWAN ecosystem's approach to this is really to enhance and expand the capabilities of these systems with LoRaWAN. And we see this as a natural evolution, taking what already works and augmenting it with modern IoT technologies that are flexible, wireless, and scalable. So the rest of my presentation here today is going to focus on how LoRaWAN can be tightly integrated with building management systems to provide even more value to building operators in a way that's simple, familiar, and non-disruptive. So I want to just first talk briefly about some of the common challenges that we know about using traditional BACnet-based systems. These are most often based on wired solutions, which can limit where you install devices, but can also provide some complexity, time, and cost for installations in both new buildings and in existing infrastructure. These solutions are usually proprietary and not always easy to expand, and they were primarily designed around controlling buildings and not necessarily data insights. But I want to be very clear that these are not flaws. They're just limitations that made sense in the context of the time that they were built. But now buildings are expected to do more with less. And when I say with less, I mean use less energy, cost less money to operate. And this is really where LoRaWAN can help. It introduces a flexible wireless layer that complements the existing systems, but then also provides new insights that can be used to make buildings more efficient without overhauling existing infrastructure. So again, this is not about replacing BACnet. It's about extending its value by introducing data from sensors that simply could not be deployed before due to cost or complexity. And there are a few core reasons why LoRaWAN is such a natural fit for smart buildings, especially when being integrated with, say, BACnet systems. First, there's no need to retrofit or rip out legacy systems. BACnet is deeply embedded in buildings, and LoRaWAN companies like Tectelic build solutions that integrate right into these environments. Second, LoRaWAN devices are incredibly easy to deploy. They're battery-powered, wireless, and very long range, which makes them ideal for large buildings and mature structures where, pulling wire is not feasible. In fact, even large buildings can be deployed with wireless LoRaWAN sensors in a day or less. So it's very, very quick and easy to deploy. Third, integration with BACnet allows facility teams to visualize LoRaWAN data using the exact same platforms and tools that they already rely on today. And by integrating with BACnet or Modbus, you can gain access to a massive ecosystem of specialized sensors that were previously out of reach, which I'll talk about a little bit next. And again, the key message here is about simplicity, compatibility. We're not trying to disrupt, we're adding value to what already works. So once LoRaWAN is integrated into a BACnet-based smart building, the number of use cases available to the building operator expands dramatically. BACnet systems today typically manage, HVAC systems, lighting, security, and these are critical systems, and they'll continue to be critical systems. But with LoRaWAN, you can now add, occupancy sensors, asset trackers, air quality monitors, leak detectors, smart thermostats, and much, much more, all without changing the core system that's operating the building. Tectelic has many of these devices in our portfolio, and the ecosystem, of course, has even more. And the end result is a building that's more intelligent, more efficient, and more responsive without additional complexity for the building operator. This is what I'm getting at when I say that Tectelic delivers network solutions, not just gateways or sensors, but full systems that integrate into existing systems seamlessly and are very easy to manage. Now, I'll just share a quick example of how we at Tectelic have made this integration simple and powerful with our smart building solution built around our gateways with an embedded LoRaWAN network server. This is a self-contained all-in-one LoRaWAN solution that includes everything needed to run a local network right at the edge without needing to connect to a central network server, as is the case in a standard LoRaWAN deployment. As mentioned, we built the network server right into the gateway and included an intuitive web-based management interface called Konalink. And all of this integrates natively with BACnet IP and Modbus TCP, as well as MQTT and HTTP for broader application integrations. For building operators, this means that you can deploy LoRaWAN sensors and view the data directly in your existing BMS platform without needing new middleware, new servers, or any complex cloud connections. As a quick example, let's say you want to add a battery-powered temperature sensor throughout your building for more granular HVAC control solution. You can deploy the wireless LoRaWAN sensors anywhere in the building, connect them wirelessly, obviously, via LoRaWAN to the gateway with the embedded network server inside, and then map those data points directly into BACnet objects, such as analog input or binary input. And those data points then appear in your existing building management dashboard, just like any other sensor. And it's not just one way. So if you want to send control command back, such as to, maybe trigger an actuator or change a device threshold or set point, you can do that too. The gateway supports full two-way communication between BACnet and the LoRaWAN devices. Behind the scenes, we're using an application server to make this integration flexible and visual. And this allows building operators to easily map payloads, customize logic, and build automation workflows, all without having to write code. Tectelic even provides pre-built workflows for the most common integrations to make setup even easier. And the beauty of this solution is that it works right out of the box. And it's also fully customizable. And because everything's localized on the gateway, it's ideal for privacy-sensitive environments or buildings where cloud access may be limited or not desired. Again, this is not just a gateway, it's a complete network solution that Tectelic has developed designed to simplify integration and unlock new value for building operators. And it brings modern IoT from LoRaWAN into traditional building systems in a way that's straightforward, scalable, and practical. But even a gateway as capable as this is just one piece of the puzzle. And we understand that what facility managers really need is a complete solution, something that solves a real world problem end to end. And that means sensors, connectivity, integration, and support, all working together seamlessly. So I'll quickly show you how we put that into action with Tectelic's facility management portfolio. At Tectelic, we've built one of the most complete and vertically aligned portfolios in the LoRaWAN space, and every product shown here was developed with a specific facility management challenge in mind. This includes devices for indoor comfort and air quality, occupancy, asset and equipment tracking, water leak detection, environmental sensing, and more. Each of these sensors is designed to be highly reliable, simple to install, and optimized for battery life and performance in real-world deployments. But again, the key message here, it's not just about the hardware, it's about the solution. Each device is part of a larger integrated ecosystem that we've built to work flawlessly with our gateways, our embedded network server platform that I just showed you, and for your existing building management system that runs through BACnet or Modbus. So when a customer comes to us with a problem, maybe they want to monitor indoor climate more efficiently or track cleaning activity or detect water leaks in hard to reach areas, We're not just handing them a sensor, we're delivering a complete network solution that integrates seamlessly into their building and helps them solve that problem quickly and effectively. Here you can see a few examples of the specific use cases where we and the ecosystem enable to deploy LoRaWAN across commercial, industrial, and institutional buildings, whether it's improving air quality and occupancy comfort, managing energy use, reducing waste, enhancing safety, or protecting assets. We've built tailored solutions to support all of these objectives within the ecosystem. And more importantly, we've built them to be easy to deploy, scale, and integrate. We're not asking building operators to start over or learn something new. We're simply giving them better visibility, better data, better tools, delivered in a way that fits into their systems that they already trust and use. This is what we mean when we say at Tektelic, we're not just a gateway vendor or a device manufacturer. We're a solution provider, a partner, and a problem solver, committed to making LoRaWAN integration into legacy building systems simple, valuable, and sustainable. So thank you for your time. I look forward to further discussion during the Q&A session later on in the presentation. Feel free to connect with me directly if you have any questions or would like to learn more about Tektelic. And now I'd like to pass it on to Mario from Thermicon for the next part of the presentation.
Thank you, Jack, for handing over. And welcome to my session on LoRaWAN-driven efficiency in perfect harmony with building management systems. So during the next couple of minutes, I will explore how LoRaWAN seamlessly works with existing building management systems to unlock a new level of efficiency and sustainability. So my name is Mario Schröder, and I'm with Thermicon, a well-known sensor manufacturer dedicated for building management sensors. Sorry, it's not changing. So, why decarbonization starts with buildings? Although the big question we see is, what is the impact of buildings on CO2 emission? And so we, on the one hand side, we have a negative impact on that. So buildings are one of the biggest contributor of carbon emission globally. And when we have a look at just on Germany, so 30% of the entire CO2 emission is caused by buildings. And the significant number of this comes from aged and inefficient buildings. But on the other hand side, buildings are one of the fastest and smartest places to reduce CO2 emissions due to modernizations. So the modernization causes also optimized operating costs, increases comfort, and increases also asset value. So, and before we will have a deeper insight in that, we will have a look at the technology, the development of the buildings. Sorry. And this timeline shows the development or the improvement of buildings over decades. And yeah, what we can pretty clear detect here is that we can separate the buildings into two groups, more or less. Buildings without a building management system and buildings with a building management system. So when we have a look at Germany, we have approximately 21 million buildings, and 75% of those buildings are constructed mid of the 90s, and yeah, the rest is 25% after mid-90s. And yeah, you can see the share of the total value. And yeah, so yeah, as mentioned, so there's a big number of buildings in the market which causes CO2 emissions due to bad performance and bad technical setup. But how can Thermicon help to convert existing buildings into future-ready facilities. So Thermocon is a well-established manufacturer in building automation. So we are doing sensors to run buildings energy efficient and sustainable, and we are very keen on all the traditional technologies like BACnet, Modbus, KNX, LoRaWAN, and at a certain point in the past, we detected that there is a need for modernization, and modernization works well with radio technology, and we had a look at several radio technology and took the decision to move forward with LoRaWAN technology because LoRaWAN served this dedicated market best. So with our Internet of Things sensors, we provide the foundation for data-driven decisions. And here, a short overview where we come from. We are doing sensors for building automation market for more than 35 years. And we are acting globally. We are having our products in more than 80 countries. Our revenue is 50 million, and we have 270 employees globally. So when it comes to a modernization project, so we have in general two options. We're doing a hardwired solution or a radio solution. And as already mentioned before, due to the benefits of LoRaWAN compared to other technologies, we see LoRaWAN as the best fitting solution for modernization existing buildings. So when we compare installation time from hardwire technologies related to LoRaWAN, so to modernize a building with wired, it takes several days, maybe weeks. So we have to shut down the building or the offices, and to install LoRaWAN sensors is pretty easy. It's done in minutes. So the investment for hardwired solution, due to the complexity and the needed accessory and a high labor cost, is very high. Compared to LoRaWAN, it's very low. So flexibility is also possible with hardwire technologies, but we have to do some constructional work to add wires and implement the sensors and connect it to the building management system with wiring. And for LoRaWAN, it's pretty easy. It's a plug and play to install the sensor, and there's nothing to do additional beside the integration in the system. So, and also scalability is a big topic. It's also possible with a hardwire technology, but it's very, very easy with LoRaWAN technology. It's more or less plug and play, and due to the ecosystem, it's pretty easy to bring all LoRaWAN products into the system to make a building solution smarter. So finally, we can say LoRaWAN brings high benefits. So it's easy installation, it's fast and less working hours, it's less cost intensive, and we have immediately optimized the performance. So as mentioned earlier, existing buildings have different technical setup. And due to this, we have two options to improve building performance. Buildings without any building management system can be optimized through a cloud-based solution. On the other hand side, buildings with an existing building management system, we can add those systems with LoRaWAN data points. And this sounds very tricky and complex, but it isn't. On the next slides, I will show you how easy it could be to bring additional data points into an existing building management system to run the building more energy efficient. So what happens in general when we integrate LoRaWAN data points into an existing system? So the biggest and the most important topic is to connect two independent worlds. So we have the IT world and the HVAC world. And to deploy a customized solution that requires a fundamental understanding of building automation structures, of sensors, of places of installations, and more. And additionally to that, it's also mandatory to integrate the new data points into an appropriate way into the system. So when we combine those two worlds, or those two knowledges, we can use benefits of both worlds. And that enables existing buildings to perform more energy efficient and sustainable. This sounds also very complex, but let's have a look at a general setup for a retrofit project. So when we have a look at the technical setup, so we have to install the sensors. So sensors send the data to gateway. The gateway forwards it to a converter in that case. And the converter, more or less, is the game changer in those projects where we have to integrate LoRaWAN data points into an existing building management system. So the gateway converts all LoRaWAN data points 100% automated into Modbus and BACnet data points. So means there's no IT knowledge needed, there's no programming skills needed. The one and only thing what you have to do is to set up your gateway and connect it with the converter. And in the building management system, you will see all the new data points in the same quality and in the same structure like hardwired sensors. So this allows facility managers to work with a well-known and established system. And in this system, they can do all the optimization to run the building more efficient, sustainable, and with a result to optimize operation costs. So here I have summarized the benefits of this box, which is called NB Nano. So it's a seamless integration into an existing building management system. It converts automatically into Modbus and BACnet. It's 100% automated, so no programming skills and IT knowledge is needed. It's highly scalable. It has an integrated network server. So it's one-time cost, and we do not have any subscription model for software. Finally, I would like to present you two projects which we realized during the last months with this or with a similar setup. The first project was in Germany. It was a 6 floors office building. All floors are rented, so we had no chance to do time-consuming installations, so it had to be very flexible and very fast. The goal was to integrate the additional data points into an existing building management system, and the task was to do it very fast. Finally, we installed more than 400 devices with one gateway, and this gateway was connected to the converter, and the converter converted all the new data points into the existing building management system. And we did it with a partner, which is close by. We provided the hardware, and the partner did all the integration and optimization for that building. This was done in Germany. And we have also international projects. Here we have a project which is located in Poland. It is a university. So the goal was to implement an automated heating system. The task was, or the challenge was, it was a historical building, so cabling was not possible or not allowed at some sections. Shutdown wasn't possible, so due to students and lessons. And we had also to integrate all the additional data points into an existing building management And what we finally did, we installed approximately 1,300 sensors with 5 gateways and 1 converter. And yeah, integrator Elsa did all the installation work and integrated all the additional data points into a Schneider Electric building management system. Yeah. At the end, I would like to start a decarbonization project with each of you to make the buildings more energy efficient and sustainable. And if you would like to discuss this in more detail, so reach out to me via LinkedIn or on my professional email address. And now I would like to hand over to Harry. He will talk about the empowering smart buildings with the integration of LoRaWAN sensing solution. And yeah, last but not least, Harry, it's your turn.
Thanks, Maria. Hello, everyone. I'm Harry, the IoT Solutions Director from MySite. It is my pleasure to be here to share how MySite products and solutions empower the smart buildings. Here are the main points of the sharing. It includes the evolution of the building development and the benefits of the LoRaWAN technology. The third part is MySite professional sensors and the solutions and how to integrate it into the BMS systems easily. And the last part is about MySite successful stories. I'm looking forward to seeing that everyone can benefit from my sharing today. Okay, now let's start with the first topic, the evolution of the building development. As we all know, the development of the building industry can be roughly divided into 4 stages. The first stage is automation. The buildings are standalone and there are no data integrations here. For efficient management, the standalone buildings will be connected and achieved for the centralized management. And this is the second stage, informatization. Utilizing IoT and AI technologies to connect the building's devices, enabling the real-time data collection, transmission, and analysis, brings the building to the third stage, intellectualization, or we can call it the smart buildings. That is the current stage. So what is needed for the current building stage? Especially more and more building retrofitting requirement comes out. Here I listed the several demands. Firstly, the easily installation devices, especially the non-intrusive installation that is very easy to deploy with very low costs and impact. And secondly, the rich sensing data for detailed analysis, and then the seamless integration with the building management systems. So what we should offer to meet these typical demands? Yes, we can find the answers here. The reliable LoRaWAN technology to avoid any wiring building works, and the professional sensing devices to offering the rich sensing data, and the well-established sensing solution to ensure the seamless integrations. So which wireless technology is suitable for the smart buildings? The best answer is LoRaWAN, but why it is a strong choice? Let me show you more information. Here we can find the typical advantages of the LoRaWAN, including the LoRaWAN the long-range coverage. It can penetrate the walls and the floors very easily, which makes it very suitable to cover different kinds of the buildings. And secondly, the LoRaWAN sensors can work for 10 years with battery powered, and it is very easy to install, no wire is needed. The thirdly is LoRaWAN is using the free band, and one gateway supports thousands of the end devices, which helps to saving a lot of the costs. And finally, LoRaWAN data are encrypted with network session key and application session key. It is very secure. So in conclusion, LoRaWAN is really a strong choice for the smart buildings. Additionally, in a market survey published by Semtech, my site was listed as a success example of using LoRaWAN to empower the smart buildings. Now, let me introduce more about my site. My site is a leading provider of professional IoT sensing products. Here, we can see the several numbers which can help you to know my site well. We have more than 600 employees. More than half of them are R&D engineers. Over the past 5 years, we have achieved a CAGR of more than 70%. We have more than 2,000 partners from over 120 countries around the world. We have deployed 1 million devices globally. We are proud of these numbers as they are from the market recognition and the trust of our partners. Here are the rich product line of my site. As we can see, these include the sensing devices and the connection devices. For the platform side, my site offers the general platform and works with our partners. The sensing devices are clearly listed according to different kind of the usage, such as the indoor air quality series, occupancy detection and people counting series, and also the energy efficiency control and monitoring series. Each product line has very rich product models to meet different kind of the requirements. For the connection devices, they are LoRaWAN gateways and industrial 4G and 5G routers. There are rich product models in each product line as well. Our products and solutions are widely used in many industries, especially the smart buildings. So what are the specific scenarios of my site products and solutions in the smart buildings? The FES is the core strategy of my site at 2025. It is a summary of our market experience and contains the facility management, the energy management, and the space management. The people sensing is a common need that runs through these vertical fields. And we also defined the sub-scenarios under each vertical field. We offer rich and professional solutions to cover all of these scenarios. Firstly, about the facility management. It is mainly for comprehensive management in the buildings, such as the asset management, the maintenance, and the operations. Here you can see the rich applications of my site devices in facility management from the vivid images. For example, the power status monitoring and the meter upgrade. Now, about the energy management, it is mainly for the energy monitoring, energy control, and the energy saving. For example, we can use a series of the sensors to collect the data of the environment, the space, and the energy systems. These wireless controllers can be used to control the HVAC system and the lighting systems to achieve the energy saving, especially for the large buildings. They can help the operators and the building owners to save a lot of the energy costs. While for the space management, it is mainly for improving the space utilization, reducing the waste, and keeping the comfortable and safe building environment. Some of these products have passed the LoRaWAN certificate and the Green Building Product Certificate. My site is continuously launching the new products, including the people caring and the e-cigarette detection sensors. Now, let's see how to integrate my site products into the smart buildings systems easily. In this part, I will show you the completed basic integration, the deep integration, and the idea to achieve the innovative integration. Through this diagram, we can see the typical protocols used to integrate, including the MQTT, HTTP, and HTTPS, and also the BACnet and Modbus protocols used in the BMS systems already. It is very easy to operate it in the gateway's web interface. And also, MySite Gateway offers the HTTP RESTful API for the third-party integrators as well. In order to simplify the operations in integration, many partners of MySite have developed the optimized tools to achieve the deep integrations of MySite devices and the BMS. And also, MySite developed the Niagara drivers to speed up the process. In this screenshot, we can find that the users can manage the MySite gateway, MySite sensors and controllers, and the whole data points at the same page. The one-stop configuration is very easy and efficient. This driver will be released next month. There's always rooms for optimization. MySite is developing the new built-in IoT gateway with the plug-and-play solution. Even the users are new to LoRaWAN, no problem. It supports rich protocols to connect to different BMS systems, and it has very rich hardware interface to connect different kinds of the existing end devices. It is a combination of the traditional controllers and the LoRaWAN gateways. Users can manage them in the same devices. And there's also Docker support as well here to meet the need of the building their own applications. The new built-in IoT gateway will be released at the end of this year. Now, I would like to share with you some successful stories in the smart buildings. Firstly, the project is completed by MySite partner Peak Power in Canada. It is regarding to the energy saving. The pain point is the very high energy cost at the peak period, and they need a data-driven monitoring system to get better comfort and reduce the costs. So they choose more than 4,000 pieces of MySite sensors, including the IAQ sensors and the occupancy sensors, and MySite LoRaWAN gateway to cover at least 3 floors to solve the poor signal of their original solutions. This solution helped them to save at least $250,000 per quarter. It is quite a big success. And the next project is regarding to energy monitoring. It is completed by MySite partner OpenSense in Italy. Their pain point is the difficulty to manage the traditional electricity and the heating meters, especially these meters are in the residential buildings, and it takes too much labor costs to manage them. So they choose MySite controllers to cover these meters and MySite gateways to connect to the Niagara system through the BACnet protocols. LoRaWAN helped them to avoid the wiring building works and achieve the remote management in a secured way, since these data are used for billing. And the third project is regarding to ESG and net zero. It is completed by MySite partner Modbus in Singapore. The largest mall next needs to monitor and maintain the comfort and optimize their HVAC system, and their goal is to reduce the carbon emissions. So they choose MySite 9-in-1 air quality sensors and connected to the Honeywell system to control the HVAC devices. For this sensor, it has the LoRaWAN certified and works with WEAR certified. These sensors helped the mall to meet the ESG and the net zero goals. Through these successful stories, MySite LoRaWAN devices are widely used and recognized in the building management systems and the building industries. Although I would like to show you more, but time is limited, welcome to contact us for more information, and thanks for all. Now let me forward it back to Jan.
Thank you, Harry. And also thank you, Jack, and thank you, Mario. It was great to see what is possible technically with LoRaWAN and what is also possible when you have the success stories with the given example. So thanks again to all of you. And you see from the first work we launched with establishing the LoRa lines 10 years ago, developing the standard, building the ecosystem, what is possible and what can be achieved in the complex field of the building management system and the integration to it. So I want to mention again, take out look to the certification program, to the certified devices, and also if you're not already a member of the LoRa Alliance, well, just you consider being a part of it. And now we are gonna open the room for Q&A. And if you have anything for our speakers to ask, and you want to see how the what was the key factor for the project or any kind of technical reason, just feel free to ask. And the floor is yours. Please ask your questions.
So I just see that there are a couple of questions coming in. I'll try to sort them for our Q&A session. So first question I noted was if it was possible to send LoRa data to local Modbus and the cloud-based application system at the same time. So I'm just asking my colleagues, can somebody answer us?
So here's Mario. So I can answer this question just related to our product, the NB Nano. So at the moment, it's not possible. The device converts only the LoRaWAN data points into Modbus and BACnet and keeps it in an existing building management system. But at the moment, it's not possible to send it at the same time also to a cloud solution. But we're working on that, and maybe in the future, we will have also this opportunity.
Maybe if I can just quickly jump in here with regards to this question as well. So as we sort of described with the architecture of LoRaWAN, a LoRaWAN device can only be connected to one LoRaWAN network server at a time. So in order to enable, as you've asked, both Modbus output as well as cloud integration, you need to be able to terminate that LoRaWAN session locally. And this is really the exact reason, or one of the exact reasons, why Tectelic and others have developed this sort of architecture of bringing that network, that LoRaWAN network server, right onto the gateway and embedding it right onto the gateway, because when you do that, it allows you to process the data right on the gateway itself. And from there, the gateway can route data simultaneously through Modbus TCP, but also to a cloud application using MQTT or HTTP. So this is sort of one of the benefits of moving that LoRaWAN network server architecture locally onto a gateway that we've sort of described.
Thanks. Next question is about, are there any LoRaWAN BACnet gateways which are certified by BTL?
Yes, this question is for me. Yes, the BACnet is the BACnet testing library, and from the webness diagram, you can find that MySite Gateway has the BACnet protocols inside, and we are doing the BACnet testing with their team, and we will get the certification at the end of this year, and that is a good news.
Okay, thank you, Harry. I was just also seeing a question regarding the documents from the webinar. So you all will find those things, I can say, on the library of the resources library of the LoRa Alliance. There were slides and the video from the presentation roughly 1 or 2 days after our day today. So there is the question about also transforming device data into BACnet data directly? I'm putting this question also again to my speakers. Transforming the device data to the BACnet data.
Yes. So you know the LoRaWAN gateways with BACnet protocols inside, and they can transfer the payload using the decoder scripts inside, then forward the data to the BACnet objects inside the gateway directly. So your BMS systems can inquiry the data from your server to the gateways automatically, and you can get the data there directly, and you don't need to know how they can do the decoding inside the gateway, because the gateway can do it automatically. And also, you know that my side are developing the Agora driver, which is very suitable for this kind of the application, and can reduce the difficulty of the engineers and make them easier to deploy, make them easier to use, and they don't need to do any decoding or any or understand any of any details of the payload. So it is very easier for them to do that.
Thank you for this answer, Harry. I'll just realize that there are a couple of questions coming again and again, and so I'll try to get as much of them as possible during our Q&A session. So the building BMS systems are not limited just only for monitoring. Are there any ways to control and establish markers of command control based for sensor reading by LoRaWAN or via LoRaWAN?
Yeah, so I can take this one, and you're absolutely right. Building management systems are just as much about controlling a building as they are monitoring a building. So it's very important as we integrate sort of this LoRaWAN architecture into sort of legacy BACnet building management systems. An important thing is being able to transfer that control capability over as well. So again, going back to this concept of moving a LoRaWAN network server into a gateway, embedding it into a gateway, allows you to establish full two-way communication between your sensor network and the building management system. And having that two-way communication available means that you can control things that are deployed. So you can trigger actions like maybe turning on fans, adjusting thermostats or HVAC settings for heating and cooling, sending alerts based on certain events happening, like a leak being detected, that sort of thing. So using sort of a built-in application server, network server into the gateway allows you to sort of create those automation, workflows or macros as you've described, giving you full control of your building or just as much control of your building as you would have utilizing a legacy building management system.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, let me jump into that
yeah.
point. It's a really good
Great.
question. Our converter is doing exactly that. So it is a handshake between the IoT world and the HVAC world. So with that device, you can trigger and control everything out of an existing building management system. You're using the beauty of LoRaWAN, wireless installation, long range, but you have it inside your building in your existing running building management system. And all the settings, all the trigger points are done in the existing building management system. And that's the beauty of this option.
Thanks, Mario. Continuing with a question. So how is LoRaWAN compared to Bluetooth Low Energy-based sensors and gateways? And are there also challenges in terms of latency? Is anyone willing to answer? Some new questions coming. I mean, just in latency, what I can say is the more denser the data rate is going to be with LoRaWAN, the more battery life it's going to get consumed. So, and for very sharp latencies, LoRaWAN isn't probably the best solutions, but I, in a way, hand also this question to my speakers here. Is there anyone who wants that?
I think they kind of, right in the question, they sort of hit the nail on the head of sort of the value of LoRaWAN over something like BLE in terms of range. You're able to control, or you're able to monitor and control a lot more infrastructure without, as many, data collectors or as many sort of, manual intervention processes possible. Integrating the long-range technology of LoRaWAN into buildings greatly reduces both your capital expenditures because less infrastructure is needed to monitor a full building, but also your OpEx as well, because you can control more things with less. So it's just being very efficient from sort of a wireless technology standpoint.
Thank you, Jack. Just gonna get through the question. There's also the questions about how many gateways do we use just to cover a range of 5 square kilometers of a community. So also what I can say for my experience, you cannot easily answer this question because it depends what is your use case. Are you gonna go to get some sensors which are probably deep in the basement, or if your construction are pre-stressed concrete or whatever, then you need somehow more. Or if it is maybe in rural areas, then somehow an outer gateway can get all of the necessary data, but it can be that you, especially in a densely urban area, you need some more gateways. It's just a question about what is the value of each data point worth for you. And yeah, well, roughly said, it's depending on the use case. But again, opening the questions to my colleagues, if somebody wants to add.
If I could just quickly jump in here and just kind of describe from a building perspective specifically. Tectelic, we get asked this question often, every day. How many gateways do I need to cover my building? And obviously every building is different. The size of it, the height, the width, what's inside, the obstacles, everything is different. So in order to solve that problem that our customers and many different ecosystem members have, we've actually created a mapping tool. And I see there's been some other questions here about heat maps and things. An indoor coverage mapping tool, the name of it is Kona Radiant, and essentially what it is you just deploy your sensors, deploy your gateways, and you can in seconds evaluate the how good of a both signal strength but also signal quality you're receiving from every single one of those devices that you have deployed. And you can very quickly, again in minutes, determine, okay, I need to add another gateway here, or I need to move my gateway from here to here. And you can do all of that in minutes. And so it's a very valuable tool. So whoever asked that question, if you like more information about that, feel free to follow up with me after the webinar.
Great, thanks, Jack. Just a very general question about how to get certification training of LoRaWAN technology. So this is great that you're here in the webinar. This is what the Alliance is for. Just feel free to contact us or be a member of the Alliance, and we will help you to push on LoRaWAN in the country of Pakistan. So thanks a lot for this question. Again, there was a question just regarding my site specific, and then why not use electric submeters, which are then connected to a MileSat LoRaWAN gateway and then to a LoRaWAN gateway. So quite technical to Harry. A question from Henry Rosen. It was about the energy monitoring project. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, they have this requirement to monitoring the electric meters, but they didn't choose the electric submeters because they they want to monitor them in a centralized solution, and they want an easier way to install it. So they choose the LoRaWAN controller, which is very small, to install it into the box, then connect it then to their management server. So that's why they didn't choose the electric submitters.
Thank you, Harry. Again, coming to the questions, what are limitations for range when it comes to sensor gateway installation in different kinds of buildings? Was a thing that was answered somehow by Harry also, because it just depends on the use case and the building. There is also another question to Jack. What are the first steps that you can recommend for Explorer clients interested in integrating LoRa with the BMS?
I think the first steps are just having a conversation with us so we can understand what sort of technologies you're looking to integrate into. Like, is it a BACnet-based building management system? Is it something else? And we can sort of uncover the protocols and the infrastructure that you're looking to integrate into, and then we can provide the best solution from there. So it's a simple process once we have kind of all of the information, but I think step one is just a quick conversation.
Thank you. There is another question regarding the security issue. Means that we're concerned about LoRaWAN secret keys being lost and being transferred to building managers, housekeepers, and maintenance staff, and the owners. Are any recommendation based for your experiences if they not probably fully appreciate the importance of this? So this is probably not the technical question, but a general question. So in terms of the security reasons, I mean, we have LoRaWAN is a secure protocol, and it just depends also on the training of the project participants in order to make them aware of what is the solution is about, what are the security issues, and also that you're just handling a secure and valid solution who is fulfilling the needs for your buildings and for your facility managers. Anybody wants some security-wise content to add at this point? Just probably another technical questions. We will do our best to get most of the questions answered. We probably won't get to all of them. We also try to type in some questions, and if still there are some open questions left behind, just feel free to contact me or the webinar panelists here. I'm quite overwhelmed by all of the questions we're handing in. One question again, why not route the LoRa device data through the application server and open MQTT ports for legacy systems? This way it can be filtered and be better controlled. Did somebody take this point?
I think that's exactly what we're sort of describing with this kind of architecture of moving I'll say the network server locally onto the gateway, but in addition to doing that, moving the application piece. In Tectalic's case, we typically use Node-RED, but moving the application server onto the gateway as well. That's exactly sort of what we're providing as an architecture solution.
Okay, great. And I think probably taking a glimpse to the end, the last question is about how good LoRaWAN and for GPS tracking, and if we use those LoRa trackers and roaming, if it will be supported for multiple LoRaWANs in a mesh mode. Will somebody take the action for this question? I mean, mostly just in the proven examples, we were dealing with static sensors. This is kind of true, but we also know from our, I would say, partners in the agriculture working group that tracking is a huge issue for livestock, machines, or whatever. and that they also did some tailored solutions just to choose the appropriate way for LoRaWAN also using in this point. But I would say tracking also depends on how fast, which is the data frequency rate, and usually if there is a will, the LoRaWAN will find a solution for this one. And also, tracking to meshing or roaming, so in between the different kind of gateways works also in this way. So, taking a look to the time, we're a little bit shortly out of over the time, but I want to thank you all of the participants here. We have lots of participants here within the webinar, and especially I want to thank Jack from the Tectalic, Mario from Thermocom, and Harry from Malta to give this talks here, and we had a very fruitful discussion here. Thanks a lot to all of you, also for LoRa Alliance hosting it, and also for your participants. I can say the downloading the slides will be possible quite soon to the resource library. Check out also the information from our for our smart building use cases, and also feel free to reach out to us. Thanks a lot for being with us, and then, well, the end words are keep working with LoRaWAN. Thanks a lot. Bye.